Hello, my name is Lou. I'm a Christian, and I believe everything that the Bible says and claims, even though some of it's kind of, unbelievable. Let's see, what does it say? It says, Jesus, a man, was also God and brought people back from the dead. That's impossible. He brought himself back from the dead. That's impossible. There's a few instances of talking animals in the Bible. Well, that's impossible. One time someone spontaneously turned into dust. Yeah, some pretty crazy things happen in the Bible. So I must be crazy, right, for believing this. None of this is possible. Right? I would say no. Although, yes, we do need faith for Christianity, there's also a lot of evidence that will back up these things actually happening. And for this series of Where's the Proof, I will be going over those evidences of why I believe in the Bible and in God and in, the story of Christianity. Episode 1. Is there a God? In this video, I'll give you 2 reasons why it's not crazy to believe that there is a God. I believe specifically in the God named Yahweh. He's the God in the Bible in Christianity. But I will not be arguing Yahweh for this video. I will simply be arguing God. And the definition of God for this video will be an intelligent and powerful being who is behind the creation of the world. So these arguments could be for multiple gods, one God. The point is they're against the idea of no God. So the reason why I'm arguing the existence of God for this episode is because with all these crazy claims in the Bible that I believe in and will be arguing for in future videos, they are impossible without God. But with God, they are not impossible. For God is a higher dimensional being. He is to us as we are to Mario. Just as a programmer can make crazy weird things happen in a video game, God can make crazy weird things happen in our life. Alright, enough intro. Let's get into my points. Point number 1, the likelihood of us evolving without God. So we know that there has to be either God, gods, or no God. And we know that we're here somehow. So in the idea without God, we must have evolved on our own, right? So how exactly did we evolve on our own? Is the question many smart people have spent their lives researching, studying, and attempting to figure out the answer to. The theory of evolution. What I understand to be the most commonly accepted answer to the question of where did we come from. And I understand accepting it too. All the scientists and professors who study and teach it are way smarter than I'll ever be, and their theory isn't a shot in the dark either. It's well thought out and based off of observable facts of today. However, the thing I, and many others I know, get hung up on is the unlikelihood of it all happening this way. Now, I'm no scientist, and I hardly know how to do basic math, much less complicated abstract statistics, but I do know how to do research, and I found that there's a trend of smart sciencey mathy professor people calculating the likelihood of specific things that the theory of evolution claims. And oftentimes the likelihood of the claim is calculated to be so unlikely that it is called impossible by the calculatee? The person who did the calculating. To make things simpler, I'll only go over one of these persons' work, or rather, one work by 2 people. The Anthropic Cosmological Principle is a book written by Barrow and Tipler, some big-shot sciencey boys with all these credentials and stuff that make them credible. They calculated the likelihood of us humans evolving to something insanely unlikely. Here's a video of someone talking about it.
Barrow and Tipler, 2 physicists, in their book, The Anthropic Cosmological Principle, list 10 steps in the course of human evolution, each of which is so improbable that before it would occur, the sun would have ceased to be a main sequence star and incinerated the Earth. And they calculate the probability of the evolution of the human genome to be somewhere between 4 to the negative 180th power to the 110,000th power and 4 to the negative 360th power to the 110,000th power. So if evolution did occur on this planet, it was literally a miracle and therefore evidence for the existence of God.
Well, those are some numbers. 4 to the negative 180th power to the 110,000th power. Okay, if I convert this, and by I mean this guy who answered my Quora question, it equals to be a lot less than a 1% chance. It equals to be 0. Lots of zeros, 11,009,020,787 zeros to be exact, and then a 4. Okay, I mean, at this point, it's just not gonna happen. We should abandon the word unlikely and use the word impossible. With these numbers, I mean, that's a lot of zeros. Oh, I'm remembering that video by iDubbbz, where he talks about the lottery. He uses the word impossible when talking about winning the jackpot, which is 1 in 292 million at that time. Let's see. You're more likely to be struck by lightning. That's only 1 in 500,000. So yeah, don't play the lottery. You're not going to win the lottery. Anyway, if I convert the lottery likelihood to decimal to percent, like we have the likelihood of us evolving on our own in a percent, then it equals to 0.0000292. So 5 zeros after the first 0. If I can name them all, it's a lot more likely than this one, which I have to say the amount of zeros, 11 million, more than 11 million zeros. I can't even fathom how small that number is. This is just, it's so unlikely. If someone uses the word impossible for the lottery, then they have to use the word impossible times 2 million for this. So to turn this into something easier to understand, you are more likely to flip a coin 100 times and get tails every single time than you are to have evolved on your own the way evolution claims you did. And that's not going to happen. You know, flipping a coin 100 times and getting tails every time is impossible. If it happened, you'd say, there's something wrong with the coin. Both sides are tails. It's weighted. This is not real. So according to these numbers by Barrow and Tipler, we did not evolve on our own. It's absolutely impossible. Which brings me to my next thing. Alright, so with all this information that I just gave you, there are a few different conclusions we can come to. Let's talk about the conclusions. Conclusion number 1. The numbers given to us by Barrow and Tipler are wrong. They made a mistake. They messed up with the math. It's possible. I obviously can't check their math for them, but they do seem to be pretty well acclaimed among the smarts, which gives them credibility as well as their degrees and titles, so they're worth listening to if you ask me, but you can do your own research and decide for yourself, of course. Conclusion number 2. Evolution as we know it is wrong, because it's just too statistically unlikely, which means some other form of evolution without God is true. We just haven't figured it out yet. Yeah, maybe. I don't think so because of the evidence I have for Yahweh, God of the Bible, but based on just what information I'm putting in this video, yeah, that's an acceptable conclusion to come to. Conclusion number 3. There is a God, an intelligent mind who manipulated things so we could come about. Again, a pretty acceptable answer. If there's an intelligent being to pick out the one black dot out of the 11 million red ones, then he'll get it. Yeah, that's an acceptable answer. Conclusion number 4. There's a God who brought us about through some other means that is not evolution. Also acceptable answer. Yeah, I mean those are the 4 answers I could think of. If you can think of another, let me know. And let me know which conclusion you come to after hearing my points. What do you think? And it's fine if you didn't choose a conclusion, because it's more information is always ideal. So I totally respect that. Okay, point number 2, morality. Alright, so this one's going to be a little bit roundabout, so stay with me. Good and evil are fact. They are adjective and not subjective. Just like 5 plus 5 is 10 and not whatever number you want it to be, what is good and not whatever you want it to be. Some have presented to me the idea of good being subjective, simply an opinion of like what your favorite color is. I reject this idea because, for one, it would mean saying people like Hitler, who did horrible, horrible things, weren't actually horrible. They're just horrible in my eyes. And that's not true. What Hitler did was factually evil, not, in my opinion, evil. Disagreeing with me would mean disagreeing with yourself. You know what Hitler did was evil, and you probably have experiences where someone did something evil to you or someone that you love, and you knew it was wrong. Reason number 2 of why I believe good is fact and not opinion. We all agree that this world is messed up. This TikTok says it all.
At the age of 7, a girl went to heaven 'cause she got shot when a drive-by happened. And at the age of 8, a girl got raped, but she act like everything's okay. And at the age of 9, a boy cut lines on both of his arms 'cause he wants to die. And this is no lie, this is real life. We need our world to change, 'cause kids are dying every day and mothers are crying.
And this is true throughout our history. Countless horrible things have happened. It's always been like this. This world has always been messed up. And you know this, and I know this. But how do we know this is the question. When I see a circle that looks like this, I know it's not a perfect circle. Because I've seen a perfect circle before. I know that this circle is wrong because this circle is right. But if the world has always been wrong, then how do we know that it is wrong? If someone's never seen a perfect circle, but only the wonky circle, they will not call it wonky. They would have no reason to call it wonky. They would simply call it a circle, because they've never seen a good circle. We've never seen a good world. And yet, we know it's bad. You know it's bad, I know it's bad. We instinctually know it's bad. Why? In the world, it's survival of the fittest, but we know that's not okay. We know we need to help the poor. We know we need to protect the weak. Why would that be? Unless there's a God, some sort of creator who has preferences, who prefers kindness over cruelty, who prefers forgiveness over revenge, and he decided to, for some reason or another, install those same preferences into us. Okay, video done. That took me approximately over 300 hours to make, but the world for you, my 15 subscribers. The world for you. So basically, to summarize, my first point is, it's statistically impossible for evolution to have happened, which means the world came about some other way. And my second point was, because we know that there is evil in the world, must mean that someone told us there was evil in the world. If we were developed naturally, we'd be like the animals and just do what was best for us. It would be survival of the fittest, and we wouldn't see anything wrong with that. So, yeah, let me know what you think. Point out where I'm wrong, point out where I'm right, and leave me a comment. It'll be fun. We'll talk about it. It's fun, it's fun, it's fun. I'm glad this video is over. I spent so much time on it. Alright, I love you. I hope you have a wonderful day. Goodbye.